Puzzle platform games on the PlayStation VR are starting to become plentiful, but Brainseed Factory, the developers behind Typo Man, have set out to create a fun puzzle platform VR game titled Squishies. So, did they succeed? Squishies is a virtual reality puzzle platform game that has you getting little ball-shaped creatures to the end of each level. The campaign has you going across 100 different levels, which are spread between many worlds with different themes. The aim of the game is to get Squishies to the goal. Though you don't control the Squishies, you have to use your move controllers to push them around. You can either suck in the Squishies or push them forward. It's a simple concept, but it gets pretty complicated later on. At any time you can move around the level or scale it to whatever size you want. There are 3 goals in each level. One goal is for how many Squishies you get to the exit, another is how many crystals you collected, and finally how fast you finish the level. The levels start out extremely simple, but later on they get quite complex, with the introduction of new mechanics every few levels. Some of the items and mechanics are bounce pads, teleporters, things that react to your voice, and flying. There are also enemies that try and kill the Squishies. Most of them are pretty easy to avoid though. One big part of the game is the editor. You can create your own levels using everything that was in the main game. It's a simple editor, but it also has some complex tools and can be used to create some awesome levels. You're able to place blocks, enemies, decorations, and logic tools. These logic tools can be used to create connections between buttons and doors, to activate the goal, to open new areas, and a lot more. They give you a lot of these logic tools and they're really fun to mess around with. If you played with any of the Little Big Planet editors before, you'll be right at home with this one. You also have different ways of placing blocks. You can use a tool that lets you select an entire area and fill it with blocks, another tool that acts like a paintbrush, and a few more. Then once you finish editing your level, you can upload it online, where people can play and rate your level. You can also play other people's levels. There's an entire online menu that lets you find levels fast and check out how your own levels are doing. You even have a profile picture that you can customize to your liking. They have ways of sorting the levels, like the highest ranked levels, the latest levels, the most played levels, or you can even check out the levels that the developers recommend. After playing another player's level, you can then rate it. You can rate the difficulty and how many stars you give it. I was really surprised with how much I enjoyed the online feature, and it adds almost endless replayability to the game. Overall, Squishies is great. I'll be honest, I wasn't expecting much going into the game, but I was pleasantly surprised with it, especially with the editor and online features. The game has a lot of good content, good gameplay, good music and graphics, and is just overall a good and polished game. I did run across a few glitches in the editor, but they weren't frequent. So if you like puzzle platformers or games with level editors, you'll like this one. If not, then pass or wait for a sale.